What if I told you that a war happening thousands of kilometers away from India, in the Middle East, is directly responsible for your routine gas shortage, a crashing stock market, and a weakening rupee? That's exactly what's happening right now. Today, we are breaking down the West Asia crisis and its real, measurable impact on the Indian economy. Let's get into it. On February 28, 2026, the US Israel Iran war broke out, and almost immediately, one of the most critical choke points in the world came under threat, the Strait of Hormuz. Now, this is a narrow waterway, but don't let its size fool you. Roughly 20% of the world's oil and gas passes through the strait every single day. For India specifically, this is a nightmare because we import 85% of our crude oil and 60% of our LPG, our cooking gas, comes to this very route. When this strait effectively closed, India felt it almost instantly. Let's talk numbers because the data tells a brutal story. In just 1 month since the war began, the census crashed by 9.4%. That's roughly 7,700 points wiped out, mirroring the kind of panic we last saw during the COVID crash of 2020. The Nifty fell below the critical 23,000 mark. India's composite PMI, a key indicator of economic health, dropped from 58.9 in February to 56.5 in March. Manufacturing PMI hit a 4 year and a half low to 53.8, and RBI had to deploy a staggering $12 billion in a single week just to defend the rupee from collapsing. Now let's look at which sectors of the Indian economy are getting hit the hardest. At the top, LPG and cooking gas, critical stress. Fertilizers are next because natural gas is a key input for making them. Then petrochemicals, engineering and aluminum, industries that depend on gas and imported energy for their furnaces processes. Many have seen massive shutdowns. Even manufacturing overall has slumped to levels that we haven't seen in 4 years. The service sector is holding up relatively better, but even that is beginning to slow down. But this isn't just about stock markets and boardrooms. This is hitting your daily life directly. Cooking gas is being rationed by the government. Essential Commodities Act has been invoked. Cutting off gas supplies to hotels and restaurants, prioritizing households. Fertilizer shortages are threatening the next crop cycle, which means food prices could rise further. The rupee is under severe pressure. India's foreign exchange reserves have dropped to $11 billion in just first few weeks of March, and thousands of jobs in the manufacturing chemical industries are at risk and places to shut down. So where does it go for India from here? The good news: India is still the world's fastest growing major economy. Strong domestic demand, solid infrastructure spending, and resilient policy are making us keeping afloat.